You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hello. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Dini. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that you have to commit to it. Taking action without being totally committed to it can be worse than taking no action at all. Because when you have any level of resistance to what you're doing, you're simply not going to be very effective at it. And the effort will be largely wasted. Always keep in mind that you can decide to do it or you can decide not to do it. It's just that simple. But it is vitally important to make one decision or the other, and then to follow it with your full commitment. To make progress, you must have yourself on your side. You won't get very far if you have to work against your own resistance and resentment. If you're going to do it, commit yourself to it. Commitment is a decision you can make for yourself regardless of circumstances, regardless of whose idea it was originally. Commitment is the act of sincerely putting your heart into what you're doing. You have no interest in being committed, then why would you have any reason to go through the motions? You're just wasting time. And you know, time, we don't have a lot of it, so why would you waste it? Rather than fighting against your own resistance, be supported by your own commitment. That will often make the crucial difference between success and failure. Take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that is Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones who were out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Man, you know what? I've never had to say like incredible aliens or Avatar or something like that. So thankful we've only interviewed human beings. Anyway, just a little humor. But ladies and gentlemen, today we have a truly exceptional guest on VRL. He's a creative songwriter, an accomplished author, a skilled mixed martial artist, a dedicated law enforcement officer, a proud veteran of the U.S. Navy, and passionate boxing coach. Representing the Bronx, New York, he's a man of many talents and incredible stories. Of course he has to be. He's from the hip-hop mecca, the Bronx. Anyway, please welcome the remarkable Dilgilio Rodriguez, also known as the Last City Cowboy. Hey, welcome to the show.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am doing great. I appreciate you giving me the time to, help me promote my book, and I just really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Dilgilio, for those who may not know you or will be meeting you for the first time, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for the time being, like you mentioned earlier, I'm still with law enforcement, just went over 25 years. Besides law enforcement, I stay proactive with martial arts and boxing. I also teach boxing. And besides that, I enjoy writing whenever I'm given the time, which I really don't have any time. When you look at my schedule and everything that I'm trying to do, it's just like, where's the time? So I'm always fighting for a time, but I still try to manage at least some part of the time on the weekend to get some type of writing done.
Yeah, man, and what you are doing is incredible. And for anyone that says they don't have time, like you are truly that definition, but you still made something out of it, with this book that we're about to talk about. So yeah, man, congratulations, and let that be a testament for anybody who's struggling with time. Maybe it's just a management thing, or if you really have passion for it, you'll find the time. Did you find?
It's
Yeah.
it's interesting because before I really started rolling with a lot of the materials that I started writing, I still remember a young man, very professionally, quite young, maybe 21 at the time or so, but him too was also searching. He was searching like what he can really do to like inspire himself to like really start making money and get like in the right direction as far as like what he wanted to do with his life. But it was quite funny because from the early stages that I met him, we've always just like joked, and it just so happens that maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, he asked if he could have a meeting with me, and I'm like, a meeting? And I'm like, sure, whenever. He's like, no, your time is very important. I would like to set up a meeting when it was convenient for you. And we actually talked like businessmen, which I was quite shocked. But he did much of the talking, everything. He just wanted to inquire. Look, you talked about this for a bit. I remember at one time, and you're actually like putting in the time, and it's amazing how you can still, after like a year or two, keep following like your dream. He's like, I admire that. And I'm like looking at him like, this is the first time I'm even having a conversation like this. So it really took to heart. It really took to heart.
Wow, that's incredible, man. How did you get the nickname the Last City Cowboy?
Very interesting. I remember almost like starting the first part of my career in law enforcement. Since I've done so much traveling with one of the best careers with the military and the Navy, I always felt that I got to see more than what the average person who don't get to travel that much. And I always told myself I always wanted to write, but I had no idea how to like really approach it. And it took almost like 10 years before I actually sat down and started writing. But once I started writing, it went softboard. But the main thing is that it all came with the singing. I try to correct my daughter. She's the only professional musician really in the family. But she was kind of like on her downfall, getting discouraged with things. And when I try to correct her, she's like, stick to what you know. And don't try to correct me. Like, this is my field, my era. And since I never yelled at my daughter and I never, spanked or anything like that, the only way I could actually correct the problem was if I was to actually show her what I can do. So besides making music, once I made my first song, I needed a name. And I started boxing around in my head as far as like what I was going to call myself. And out of nowhere, it like came to me. And when it did come to me, I was still like fighting it, like, no, I don't think I'm going to use this. But for some odd reason, I stayed with it. I started singing country music, so I needed kind of like a country name, and it was kind of like a good hitch.
Yeah. All right. Another interesting thing I wanted to ask you about. So you spent years as a law enforcer, plus in the service of the Navy, and thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You chose to write about science fiction, in fantasy versus like I normally interview someone who had time in the service or law enforcement, and they write crime stories or stories of war. Why did you choose to go the fantasy and science fiction route?
I felt, for one, that through all the experiences with the military and what I got out of it, I wish I would have made more of myself in the military, but just for the things that I saw, the like the drills that we would run and stuff like that, and I guess through like sci-fi, the connection between the two. When I started going through Instagram, I noticed that UFOs was like a big thing. I mean, I wrote, few others, books before I got to this here, but what really like kicked it off for me was the the people being fascinated with UFOs, and I'm like, you know what? For what I'm doing right now and to market in that area, I think it's like a good shot. So I just took a chance and just went for it.
Absolutely. So we're here to talk about The Invaders Come for Our Women, The Last City Cowboy. So what inspired you to write this book?
That's a good question. Besides, me being actually the Last City Cowboy, I wanted to create like something special more towards the character myself, the Last City Cowboy. But I just felt that nothing else was like really catching my interest. I've written already quite a few things that'll come out later. So if you notice, the book is actually numbered. I think The Invaders Come for Our Women is number 8. So I've actually written a few other titles, under the Last City Cowboy. But this is where like I kind of like really took a strong interest, because once I started writing, I couldn't stop. And it wasn't the same like for the other, books before that, where I had like such a strong interest that I couldn't get away. So the idea of, associating myself, like fighting aliens, going after aliens and stuff like that, it was just like once I started writing, I just couldn't stop. And there was times where I'm looking at my watch or looking at the clock, like I really got to go to bed. I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Oh man. So the series is starring you as the character, the Last City Cowboy. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like a true American hero here.
Yeah.
I know
it's weird. It's weird because I remember when I first started, people used to laugh at, no, you're wasting your time. I got more negatives than positives.
Wow.
And I don't know what was going through my head, but I was like, I would listen to like certain celebrities that like I really admire, like Steve Harvey, Denzel Washington, the way they would speak out, how they slowly climbed up the ladder and stuff like that, and the stuff that they had to go through. And I'm like, you know what? I can see it. I'm fighting this right now, and I'm just a little guy. So I just told myself, I don't care what anybody says, and it was funny because even writing the first book, I told myself, I don't care if anyone doesn't purchase my book. I'm still going to write a series on this. I'm going to write 10 books because it was like already something strongly, not only in my heart, but also in my mind.
Yeah.
So regardless of it, all the negative stuff and responses that I would get from people like, oh, I don't like your music, or I don't like your books, or, it's like, you're wasting your time with this. I would just smile at people and be like, I'm sorry you feel that way, hopefully you find what you're looking for, but I'm not going to stop, so I'm just glad I never stopped, and I thank the man above, because each and every day I thank him as I'm going forward. So it really inspires me, to know that not only I've got that spiritual being of still being able to remain positive when I got a lot of ugliness around me or people trying to hold me back, that I'm not going to give up. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of faith, do you include that in your series as well?
I started in, I think, book number 5. I wrote something because of the falling, people thinking negative of religion. I don't get too in depth with like religion, but it's still something on a positive note towards working like with the priest and, things of that nature.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I believe it's needed.
Yes.
As much faith as we can fit in, whether it's on purpose or subconsciously. I think that we as people definitely need some type of faith to hold on to.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. So, the story, The Invaders Come for Our Women, the premises star also green aliens invading the Earth. So why did you choose green aliens?
When I started coloring, the aliens, I mean, first of all, my favorite color is green. But yeah, when I started, I was like running out of markers. I only had like a small limited amount of choices on colors, and I definitely wasn't going to go red or brown. So I was holding the green marker in my hand, and I'm like, you know what? Let me start off with the green, and I just stayed with green.
So you did the artwork too?
Well, no, I did a lot of the rough drafts to like complement the story. I just wanted to make sure that the people that I was working with, that we were kind of like on the same page, because sometimes your ideas and how you basically present it or talk about it, people just completely have like their view on things, and there was a lot of going back and forth before I decided to take the extra initiative to like draw a lot of the stuff to complement the story, like the way I wanted.
Right. So DJ starts his journey in a bar with a shot of Fuego tequila. How does this setting reflect his character at the beginning of the story?
Some of it is me, I do enjoy myself at the bar, so I'm not going to lie. As you read on, there might be a lot of things that kind of reflect me. I'm not going to say what part, but, I'm kind of like a party type of guy. So, I kind of like saw myself already like at a setting at a bar, and I was like, you know what, why not? So, I put the character, placed him in the bar, and then the theme behind that is he doesn't truly physically encounter the aliens. It's just that he gets plastered, he hits his head, and while he hits his head, he blacks out. And this should have been like a sign. Once he sees the vision of the aliens trying to take over, trying to crash the party, trying to destroy everything, and then they give him an ultimatum. And of course, the ultimatum is he's got to answer 2 questions correctly. If not, they're going to destroy the planet. And
one of the questions is the meaning of life?
Exactly.
Whoa.
And
how do you answer that?
Exactly. So I draw a lot of like comedy to it, because for like myself, it's like I don't mind something intense, but if it's got a couple like witty remarks here and there and stuff like that, that really like focused me in. So I was hoping that for anybody that picks up the book, that they're just not reading something like intense, like it's all drama and there's no comedy in between it. So that, that's where I come out and I just blurt out women. And since I love women so much, it was the only thing that came to mind. And then, fortunately in my case, it just so happens that, I won and the aliens lost answering the first question.
Yeah. So does DJ see himself as a hero?
Yeah. I proudly served my country in one of the best militaries you could ever be in. And then on top of that, I'm also law enforcement. I love my job. I love the people that I work with. And I really think that I'm actually at one of the best jobs in the world. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but if you've ever seen me at work, I'm always smiling, cracking up jokes. So they're like, look, stay away from that dude. And I ain't gonna lie, I can't say he was a close friend, but someone that even worked in HR, after like the many years of always hi, bye, and every now and then he would depend on me if I had to like escort somebody out that he felt threatened, I would have to report in or something like that. But one time he honestly told me, can I speak with you? And I'm like, yeah, of course, we always talk. And he's like, I always thought you was retarded. And I like looked at him like,
wow.
Yeah, but I kind of like smiled it off. I'm not the type of person that quickly reacts, or something like that. So I just mouthed it off. He's like, no, don't get me wrong. It's just that I've never seen anyone so happy and always joking. It's like every time I come to work, I see you, on patrol, or I see you on the street, and you're always smiling. And I was like, yeah. If I'm going to have a choice in life to be happy or sad, I think I would want to pick happy. So.
Yeah. What about DJ in the story? Does he see himself as a hero?
To a degree. I think DJ is fighting like his own demons, because there's a side of him where he's more actively in a position where he's forced to do like certain jobs, and then when he takes certain jobs, he's like questioning himself. So I would think that to some degree he's still happy, of what he does, because in the early stages, some of the books that I haven't put out yet, which I will later on, they start him off, as someone in abduction cases for kids. And if there's one thing about DJ, he loves kids. I don't know what it is, but I turn into a big kid myself every time I see the kids. So that was one of the things that I was really drawn to when I added that. But yeah, he starts off in abduction cases, and then of course this last case now it's still an abduction case because they're human trafficking, but it's no longer kids. And now he's dealing with not humans, but now chasing aliens.
Yeah. So he wakes up, and the existence of the entire Earth really depends on his answer to two questions.
Yes.
Like, how does DJ internalize this? Like, he is the last standing hero for the Earth, and whatever he answers determines the Earth's fate. How does he internalize this responsibility?
Well, the thing is that, he's questioning himself, like, why me, kind of thing. He's like, I'm the last person that should be answering. I'm a kid that never did well in school. He always tensed up in exams. So for him to be in like that vulnerable position, he's fighting himself. And in between the first question when he just blurted out women, this time he's going to blurt out alcohol, which it just so happens to be the answer which the aliens didn't want to hear. So in the process of doing so, what I'm trying to signify here is that through that vision, he should have kind of like, some people sometimes read into like a nightmare or something like that might be like an answer to something. He just disregards everything, and then it's like the next day he's worried about the hangover until he gets the call, and now he's jumping into another mission.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I would ask you about, the answer to the meaning of life, but I'm sure that's in the book, and I don't want to give any spoilers away. You do answer that question, right, in the book? Or you leave it up to interpretation?
I leave it up into interpretation.
Wow, yeah. You're a genius.
my thing is, the pranks, the jokes. I want people to feel that, okay, DJ might be a hero, but at the same time, he may not be the smartest guy in the world. So, and between that, you are going to come across a few things like that where he might just blurt out something and you're like, wait a minute, that's not right, but this is DJ.
This is DJ. I love it. So The Invaders Come for Our Women is the first book in the trilogy. Without giving away any spoilers, what can readers expect from the next installment in the Last City Cowboy series?
The next one, which is The Aliens Are Back. Now that really gets more intense, like with the military, but you still see the humor acts, coming from DJ, and you start seeing like another side of him, because now it's like he's like, there's certain things that he don't want to do, but now he's forced to do. And it's a matter of questioning himself whether he feels right with some of the killings. I'm not gonna like really, throw some of the spoilers out, because then it's like you're like, once you start reading, it's like, oh, this is what he was talking about. But it's very intense, because now it becomes more operational with the military. You're learning another side of the military if you don't know anything about the military, and I think that for the most part, you start seeing a lot of more like wicked fights that you probably like wouldn't expect. It's like suddenly, as you're reading, it's like, okay, this guy actually does know his art, because what he's naming and the certain movements and the way the cartoon is being drawn, like everything meets is like there should be no reason why when it comes to like the fighting scenes anybody should be like, that's not right or whatever. But this is where you see more transformation coming from the aliens. So it's real good. It's real good.
Do you think the series would ever become like a cartoon series, or even better, like a Netflix series?
That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I've already ran into a lot of people which I was quite surprised that already purchased the book, and they were like, "Dude, when you coming out with another one?" And I was like, "Well, I already got 3 on my website." They're like, 3, so they wasn't even aware of the website, so I wasn't even sure where they even got the information. But they were like, "Yo, dude," I was hysterically laughing. It's weird how I've known you for like so many years, and now I'm seeing another side of you, and then it's like when they're reading the book, since they know me, they're like, even as I'm reading, I can hear your voice. And then I got other people telling me like, dude, this is you exactly. I'm like, whoa.
He was like, wait a minute, some of this is fiction.
Yeah, exactly. I got to remind people because, I don't want to like spoil too much, but I've got people like already questioning me like, dude, I think we all kind of like mayonnaise, and I'm like, dude, look, it's science fiction. Whatever you're about to say, it's science fiction. Everything, I made up everything. They're like, well, I know that, you're in law enforcement. I'm like, look, that's not go there. Just keep it simple. It's just, something for you to read, laugh and giggles.
Absolutely. Man, you also have a song called DJ The Last City Cowboy.
I got quite a few.
Really?
I think it might be about, I think if I'm correct, it might be about 13 songs.
Wow, an album.
Yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah. You got God to Country, which is like one of the favorites. It's more like a patriot song, which I received very good remarks on. And then you also have like, I wrote one for the Navy as well. It's called Fly Navy Fly. And that, when it played in California, 107 point something, I got like a real, a lot of good responses on that. Everybody actually liked it. And I was like holding back a bit, but they were like, no, that was like really good. And I got Writing with the Devil, which I was ashamed to write. Writing with the Devil, it came out decent. I still got a lot of compliments on it, but I was ashamed to sing the song until the very end. It just like dawned on me, you know what? I can make believe that I was dreaming this, and then it made me feel, it made me feel better, because the thing was that when I came out with Writing with the Devil, I started looking at all my fans, and some of them were priests, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is a priest listening to the song?
Good question.
Yeah, so, towards the end, I basically, I'm saying that it was all a dream, mom's waking me up and to get ready for school. So that I felt comfortable with, afterwards, that Why that song came to me, I have no idea. Maybe I was fighting demons at one time.
Man, just for kicks and giggles, man, if you spotted a small alien ship with injured passengers, what would your initial reaction be?
Run.
Nah.
Well, I think everybody would like to sound like a hero, but I tell you right now, I'm willing to save lives. But yeah, if I was to even have sight of an alien ship, whatever, I'm sure most people would probably run out of curiosity, and who knows, maybe try to gather whatever intelligent tools and equipment. No, I'm just the opposite. I've come, to the conclusion in life that, one, I love me, and two, I'm trying to live. I'm one that likes to tell the story.
I'm with you on that. I've seen enough alien movies. Either they'll eat you, shoot you, or probe you, and
That's
I
right.
don't want to stick around for either.
No. I don't care how much money they offer me. It's like, you know what? Thank you for your time, but I'm going the other way.
Take me to your leader. I will not. I'm out of here. Oh, the leader is that way. I'm going this way.
That's right. That's right.
That's right, man. So where can our listeners get a copy of the book and check out all the other wonderful things you're doing?
If they're to go to Amazon, you can get it on Amazon, whether you use my name, Dilgilio Rodriguez, or even if you go to the Last City Cowboy on Amazon, you should be able to have direct access to the books. Also, you can go on my website. If you go on my website, www.thelastcitycowboy.com, yeah, you'll be able to get the books. I haven't put the CDs out on the website, but you'll be able to see them on Amazon. So.
All right. And listeners, just in case you need those links, I will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click the links. Thank you so much, Dilgilio, for being our special guest tonight. It was truly an honor.
No, I wanna rap all night, man. You cool, man.
Thank you, man.
I thank you so much for everything, man. God bless you with what you're doing, man. You just keep on going strong, man.
Will do, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is only1mediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.